There are probably 1,000 bands in Toronto, maybe more, all across the GTA that are playing regularly all the time. I could probably say the same thing about Halifax and the same thing about Vancouver. It's pretty awesome, right? Indie bands playing for people for virtually no pay. Yeah. There's a problem, though. They're playing exclusively in their own cities. What if we were to unite the music scenes from all over Canada? Why haven't we used social networking yet to help bands set up shows all together so that they could host each other in their own respective cities? Well, why hasn't it happened? Anyway, it's about to. We have this idea, it's called Gig Pair, and it basically allows bands to do three things: post gigs, find gigs, and book gigs. That's it. Now, as an independent musician myself, and you'll have to bear with me, this is the first time I've been on stage without a guitar in my hand in about 13 years, so I'm a little nervous. But as an independent musician, I've noticed a lot of barriers that stop bands from playing outside of town. Namely, it's very expensive. There's a lot of costs that go along. I could talk forever about the costs, so I won't. But also, it's kind of hard to find the right venue to suit a band, right? You can't have a country band roll into town and play at a fine dining restaurant, or have a punk band roll into town. They're all excited and they wind up at a jazz lounge or something. It's just not going to work. And also, it's hard to fill the seats. It's hard to put people in this club, especially when you're out of town. So how can something like Gig Pair help this kind of thing? Well, like I said, it will bond these different music scenes and provide musicians with more knowledge about places all around Canada, and more importantly, about these venues in these small places, and maybe put them on the map, these little lesser-known places. It'll also teach musicians vital skills. So they'll be booking their own shows. They'll be putting a lot of work into the hands of the people, of the bands that they're in communication with. So these other bands could possibly maybe lend out their gear, which we call backline, the amps and drums here. Maybe lend out their gear to make some of the costs a little bit easier when a band from another place rolls into town. And also, they'd be accumulating fans. They'd be accumulating new fans, and then exposing their existing fans to new bands. So it's not even all about the musicians, but listeners, for music lovers all over the place. The listeners can connect with bands from across Canada that they would never have otherwise known. So a Torontonian could know the exact same amount about bands from Windsor and bands from Winnipeg or Whitehorse or whatever, just in the same way that they know the Toronto bands. So bands gain new fans, while fans gain new music. Everybody wins. Now, major record labels, once upon a time, they did serve a crucial purpose. They signed bands, they invested in bands, they publicized bands, and they made a lot of money off of bands. Basically, major record labels seemed like the only way to truly make it in the business. So here's the paradigm. Being signed to a major record label equals being famous and rich, maybe. Being an independent, local, unsigned musician equals having integrity and making no money. Maybe. Times are changing. The music scene is changing. Musicians and performers and composers have more creative freedom than ever before. Yet a lot of them still don't know how to produce or promote their own shows. They still accept that old paradigm. I really think that it's key that we, the independent musicians of today, realize our own independence and take ownership of our music. It's networking like Gig Pair that would really help foster and strengthen that independence.